Well, hello again from my neighborhood. Someone said last week that when I did my video in the neighborhood, it was like Mr. Rogers. So I don't know if I look like Mr. Rogers, but he was from Pittsburgh, so I don't know if that means anything. Just wanted to give a brief, I don't know, I guess a few thoughts on something that's been on my mind. Earlier this week, I had gotten a text from someone in our church, and really from our life group. It's just a positive text thanking me and just saying how much they appreciated me being in their life. And it was just a cool text, and I ended up talking to him, and he was taking a class about words of affirmation. And one of the things that he had just learned was they had done a study about the power of words, and especially words of affirmation regarding actually the study was done in Japan. Scientists were studying the effects of words of affirmation on ice crystals. And what they did was they took these ice crystals and they would speak words of affirmation over them. They'd play songs of, beautiful songs and songs of good intention toward the ice crystals, and the crystals would form beautiful shapes of various symmetry and just beautiful shapes. And then they would take the same water, same crystals, and then they would speak words of hate and bitterness and just negative things over the curses, really, over the crystals. And the crystals would form all kinds of distorted shapes and grotesque shapes. And it just really got me thinking about this week about how powerful it is to speak words of affirmation. And we really have a choice to really focus on negative things, or we can focus on positive things in others. I often say this, and I'm sure you've heard me say this, that the Bible says that Satan is the accuser of the brethren. And what that means is that he finds what's wrong with something or someone, and tells them about that. Just constantly accuses them to themselves, accuses others to themselves. He's an accuser. But in James chapter 1, it says that God is not one who finds fault. He's not a fault-finding God. Aren't you thankful for that? And so my question is, are we in our homes, in our places of business, with our kids, our spouse, our friends, co-workers, people we go to church with, are we finding what's wrong with them? Or are we finding what's right with them? My experience is, especially in the church world, people who feel like they have the gift of discernment can find out real quickly what's wrong with you. But quite frankly, I don't need someone to tell me what's wrong with me. I need someone to tell me what's right with me. And biblical discernment is the ability to find the gold in the mine shaft. And if you think about that analogy, that means that you're willing to dig to find what's precious. So I just challenge you this week to go and find 3 people, text them. You can even do it right now. Text them after you see this video. Text 3 people and just tell them you appreciate them. Tell them how much you're grateful that they're in their life, and just watch what happens, because what you sow, you reap. And so I dare you to speak words of affirmation over your kids, over your spouse, over yourself, because you can't give what you don't have. There's power in your words. It's bore out in science and in ice crystals. And what are you creating with your words? Have a blessed day.